All right, all right, all right. We are live. We are live. How's my YouTube family doing? All right. This is going to be an amazing, amazing, amazing presentation. Strictly related to the topic. Oh, it's going to be sweet. So I made this video to shut down the haters, debunk the lies and the misinformation and the disinformation that everybody received from MSNBC and CNN, Democrats, and liberals across America. We're going to clarify and clean all that up today, and I'm going to make it clear. Roshonda Hayward, how you doing, sis? And I'm going to make it clear how you guys got duped, how you got brainwashed, how you got fooled to go against your own self-interest, how you voted for personalities over principles. Oh, it's going to be sweet today. Now, this may take a while, so if you don't have time, come on back later and finish this. It's going to be sweet. I'm rocking my Make America Great Again hat, and I'm going to show you why MAGA is going to be full in effect, and why and how we're going to make America great again. Oh, I'm representing today, so let me build the beat. Let some people come in. I'm going to play a little song before I get into my presentation and my lecture. And when I grew up, I graduated high school in 1987. So this is why I'm so pissed at people my age or older or close around my age. Because they knew all along, decades ago, how the hip hop community, how the black political community used to look up to Donald Trump, used to give him props, used to praise Trump, and he was a staple in our community and in our music. Oh, we're going to show all that. Okay, right? So first, I'm just going to play a little song, then I'm going to get into my presentation. This presentation should start in about 4 minutes. Okay? Bear with me. Don't go nowhere. It's going to be hot. When I finish this presentation, half of y'all listening is going to turn conservative and represent the Republican Party next year. Now, I'm an independent. I'm not a Republican. I'm an independent who chooses to vote any way he chooses, depending on the election or depending on who's running. I might vote Democrat if they get a good candidate in, a good nominee in. But lately I've been voting conservative. I'm a conservative, not a Republic, I'd like to say. Excuse me, Republican, I'd like to say. Right? Hit that like button, y'all. What's up, Jesus Price? Jesus Price is going to turn conservative after he listens to this. Right? We're going to make it plain and clear today. You know how I do. Let's just get this party started. Where do I want to start? Let's go.
Well, Donald talk about Donald Trump, man. Y'all is crazy, man.
Yo, Ice, I did a concert in the White House, and after that, me and Donald Trump hung out.
I gotta say what's up to Digital Underground and Humpty Hump, cause he making more than Donald Trump.
Beat was going off like Donald Trump gets checks.
I got spunk, I'm well known like Donald Trump.
Suck me up and lick me up just to get a bump. Forget Black Caesar, brothers call me Black Trump.
Put my cash in my pockets, get Donald Trump.
Soon to be paid like Donald Trump.
But yo, guess who's the Black Trump?
You kaboom so I can jump to the sounds I pump, but I ain't quitting till I'm shitting on Donald Trump.
Got a business mind, so if I lose the funk, I'll still be in the house getting paid like Trump.
New Trump, brand new funk. Keep a pocket full of California skunk.
That 95 shit don't always work. The 96 we gon' flip the script and break them off some new Trump.
Got the room stuck. I smoke and make dope like Trump.
I ain't talking about no bullshit ass flipping T's. I'm talking Trump type access. They coming off a gang of keys.
Trump change? Trump change.
Nah, Trump change.
Trump change.
Trump change. I'm talking Donald Trump change. I'm talking Steve when I'm talking, Trump change.
I'm just trying to get rich like Trump.
In hot pursuit of Donald Trump rap loop.
Niggas always expect to see us two together stable. The best couple they seen since Trump and Marla Mabel.
The new Don Trump is Bill Gates. Not because his occupation, it's cause we respect his cake.
Bill Gates, Donald Trump, let me hear now.
But bring your ass over the hump. We trying to get money so we can be living like Trump.
We can talk talk, real estate, stocks and bonds.
I buy cars with straight cash, have meetings with Donald Trump.
Magnus, alcohol, and freaks, the remedy. Down the young Donald Trump is y'all hearing me.
Big Trump thing, making dollars, honey, holler, big bucks, man.
Throwing it like Donald Trump. I blow my weight like Sherman Crump. I got a hold of my state like Donald Trump.
27 cars in a 12-bedroom house. Now they call me Snoopy Trump.
I'm Donald Trump with raccoon hairdo. I'm Donald Trump in a white tee and white ones. The conversation is money, nigga. You want some?
What's with fire to Bill Gates, Donald Trump, them require you.
Spend absurd money, private bird money. That Bill Gates, Donald Trump, Bloomberg money.
Hate the block, boys in the hood call me Black Donald Trump.
I'm like Trump, a nigga friend, it's only fire at night.
Resurrection of the real time to get richer than Trump.
I still
They talking about they call me the Black Donald Trump. Donald Trump was never racist back in the day. We was rocking with Trump. Let's go.
does it. Breathing off a Trump budget. Fire motherfucker, Donald Trump, nigga. Next time you see me, I have money like Donald Trump.
Give me fame and fortune, me and Trump on golf courses. Homies on the block, say whatever they want. I don't wanna be a dealer, I wanna be a Trump.
Donald, that is. I'm so appalled, spalled and bald and Donald Trump taking dollars from y'all.
I'm getting to the money, that Donald Trump money.
First to the
Hey, Fetty, don't go nowhere. Stay tuned. This is going to be a hot presentation. Trust me on this one.
monk. Trump to the buyers, red toupee on the coupe, you been fired.
The princess, but not Trump. I'm the nigga with Glocks and pumps.
Split swishers with my thumb, get money like Donald Trump.
Yo, I'm rolling in the riches, money by the digits. I got Donald Trump calling me a money wizard.
Got a kilo in the truck. Richest nigga in my hood, I'm the Donald Trump.
Take over the world when I'm on my Donald Trump shit. Look at all this money, ain't that some shit?
I'm trying to stuff until I can't fit no more. I'm talking Donald Trump level.
Swear I got a lot, but I ain't got enough. Trying to get it till I'm on my Donald Trump.
We don't stop, my nigga.
Nah,
I'm like Donald Trump, nigga.
Meek Millie.
Blow it all, come back, get it again, you feel me?
Lost paper and made it back, like Trump being up, down, up. Play with cash.
Good looking rapper, I ain't trying to stunt. I'ma fire my blunt.
All right. All right. That song is on my page right here. And what is the title of it? Let me find the title if y'all want to download it or what have you. Chief X, 67 times the rappers praised Donald Trump. 67 times, people. Right? Why is that? Because Trump was never known as racist. Now, I see someone in the chat put he had discrimination lawsuits on him. I think he's probably referring to what they say he didn't rent to some people, right? When Donald Trump ran for one presidency, let me show you. All right. Let me pull up this picture real quick. get my shit together. Hold on. I don't know how this fell off. All right. When Donald Trump won presidency, that's when they start hating on him. Donald Trump in history has never known to be racist. He's in this picture with Jesse Jackson, of all people, an activist for black folk. Right? We all love Trump. It says what? He wasn't racist until he ran for president as a Republican and won. Right? Let me explain that. Donald Trump was an outsider coming into the arena of politics. He had to first battle who? The Republicans. Kicked the Republicans' ass and became the Republican nominee. Got into office. Damn near day one, he made a speech talking about I want to get rid of lobbyists because I don't want to be beholden to lobbyists. Oh, excuse me. I forgot something. He kicked Republicans' ass and became the Republican nominee. Then he kicked the Democrats' ass and became the president of the United States, the 45th president of the United States. At this point, as an outsider coming in, kicking ass on both parties was pissed at him. Hold on. I got to block somebody. Okay. Both parties were mad at him, a bit jealous. The media rained down on Trump as soon as he won. Right? Republicans, after 4 years, got over it and became on his side. But it took 4 years. Right? He came in their office and stepped up and said, I'm getting rid of lobbyists. He said, I'm draining the swamp. I'm going to tell you what draining the swamp means. Draining the swamp means we're going to get rid of this old way of working and these lobbyists, and I'm not going to be beholden to no lobbyist who's lobbying to me. I got my own plan and my own ways. Let me clarify that for you. Okay? First, let's do this. This is very important to understand, right? Let me share my screen. So this is very important to understand, right? So let me first define lobbyists for those who don't know any better. Professional lobbyists are people whose business is trying to influence legislation, regulation, or other government decisions, actions, or policies on behalf of a group, individual who hires them, right? Corporations and things like that. Trump didn't want that shit no more. What that did was pissed a lot of politicians off because they're used to having lobbyists. They're used to making side deals. They're used to padding their pockets a little bit on the low because bribery is illegal, but people do shit on the low, and lobbyists lobby for their firm, right? But they never lobby for the people. Trump said he's for who? The people. We're going to break this down meticulously so you can understand and how it went step by step, right? Now, just to give you a little understanding, I pulled up this video by this young, brilliant guy, right? Where is it at? Where is it at? Where is it at? Bear with me. I hope I didn't take it down. I may have.
spend money like.
This is vital. Hold on, y'all. Okay, here we go. Apologies. Now I have so many screens up. Some things may be delayed here, right? But we're gonna get it together. Let me explain. Let's just listen real quick.
See that coming, huh? So I looked up who the biggest spenders on lobbying were in 2021. Literally at the top, big business, as in the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, a pro-business interest group. Next up, landowners. Coming in at number 2 is the National Association of Realtors, an organization who, according to his website, has 114 years of advocating and protecting the rights of property buyers and sellers in the U.S. and around the world. Number 3, Big Pharma, the Pharmaceutical Research and Manufacturers of America. Also at the top of the list are big tech companies. Meta, the company formerly known as Facebook, and Amazon both spent over $19 million on lobbying. Who don't you see at the top? Lobbyists advocating for the people.
What?
Or the planet, rather than a business's bottom line.
We got to hear that again. Trump got rid of lobbyists.
Business's
Why?
bottom line. Though, I will point out that AARP spent over $13 million lobbying in 2021. Dang.
Trump got rid of lobbyists because he was for the people. He wanted to drain the swamp. Let's go.
Boomer for the people. Meta, the company formerly known as Facebook, and Amazon both spent over $19 million on lobbying. Who don't you see at the top? Lobbyists advocating for the people or the planet rather than a business's bottom line. Though, I will point out that AARP spent over $13 million lobbying in 2021. Dang, boomers, y'all got all the money, huh? Yeah, I see what's happening here. In 2015, The Atlantic reported...
Now, I just wanted to show that brief thing because he was explaining lobbyists and how Trump is for the people. He wanted to make America great again, not politicians in their pockets, right? So, here he is, damn near day one, breaking it down.
President-elect Donald Trump's transition team now moving to uphold this campaign promise.
We are going to drain the swamp.
Unveiling a new lobbying ban, requiring anyone under consideration for a job in the Trump administration to sign a written pledge to terminate their lobbying. And when they leave office, they will be banned from being a lobbyist for 5 years.
When we talk about draining the swamp, this is one of the first steps.
But as they make headway on...
Now pause. He was draining the swamp. Because he wants the lobbying to be for the people. Right? Now I just wanted to break it down. Now, real quick, people. Let's start off with this. Because this is one main thing that just irked my nerves with you liberals and Democrats. Making up a lie on Donald Trump that he has something called the Platinum 2025 plan. I've been saying and trying to clean this lie up, but you guys been letting the lie spread. Trump has nothing to do with Project 2025. Oh, well, he's going to get rid of the Department of Education. In a sense, but you didn't understand his tactic when that's said. He didn't say it, but he has nothing to do with Project 2025 because people were going crazy. Trump's Project 25, Trump's Project 2025. He told you.
And you know, the other side's going around trying to make me sound extreme, like I'm an extremist. I'm not. I'm a person with great common sense. I'm not an extremist at all. Like some on the right, severe right, came up with this Project 25, and I don't even know. I mean, some of them I know who they are, but they're very, very conservative, just like you have. They're sort of the opposite of the radical left, okay? You have the radical left, and you have the radical right. And they come up with this, I don't know what the hell it is, it's Project 25. He's involved in Project, and then they read some of the things, and they are extreme. I mean, they're seriously extreme. But I don't know anything about it. I don't want to know anything about it. But what they do is misinformation and disinformation, and they keep saying, he's a threat to democracy.
Misinformation and disinformation. You guys fell for it. Liberals, the Democratic Party lied to you. Kamala kept saying Trump's Project 2025. It's not Trump's. It's the Heritage Foundation's plan. Trump's plan is, what is it? Trump 47? I forget the exact name, but let's go.
Democracy. I'm saying, what the hell did I do for democracy? Last week I took a bullet for democracy.
Now,
what did I do against democracy? Crazy.
Now pause. Trump told you he has nothing to do with 2025 project. A lot of you guys knew that, but you helped miseducate black folk. You helped deceive black folk. Now, that's just one thing I just wanted to get out the way. Now, I wanted to play this video by Dr. Dee, I think her name is. Wonderful lady. She breaks it down where y'all went wrong. Okay? Let's listen to Dr. Dee.
Well, the elections are over, and we have all the Democrats trying to figure out what happened. How is it that all of these people in the country, over 50% of the people of the registered voters in our country, voted for Donald Trump? What happened? And you, instead of you looking at yourselves, you're looking at everyone else. I looked at several shows today, and they were talking about the people were racist, the men, the black men were misogynistic, the Hispanic men are misogynistic, the white men are racist, but you never said anything about the Democrat men. What's wrong with you? You have spewed hatred. You have had nothing to tell the American people to make us want to vote for you. Nothing. You had nothing. If you saw, I have had many videos, many people have asked, what is your party's platform? You never had one. Your party platform was one thing, and it was Donald Trump. And because of your hatred for Donald Trump, you thought that you can do everything you wanted to, and you were going to make the American public hate him. Guess what? When you decided that you were going to harm him physically, you made him a martyr. People started looking at him and said, this man is doing all of this just so he can help the United States of America. You had all of your ads talking about how he was Hitler and how he was going to do everything.
How about he's Hitler? Anybody who votes for him is racist. What is this nonsense? Let's go, lady.
To our country, and started looking at him and said, this man is doing all of this just so he can help the United States of America. You had all of your ads talking about how he was Hitler and how he was going to do everything to our country and destroy the country, whereas we were watching you do the same thing that you were blaming him of doing. The same things. When you said people weren't going to be able to speak anymore, you were the ones who paid Mark Zuckerberg or forced them to keep people off of social media. You were the one that coined that term misinformation and said that anyone that said anything that you disagreed with, you needed to do something to them. Even one of your leaders even said that we might even have to put them in camps and deprogram them. You did that. You said that. So don't get mad at the American public when you have over 50% of us who decided that you are going in the wrong direction. When you decided that you were going to get people, entertainers that most of us would never pay to go and see. People that were twerking and doing all types of despicable things on. When you decided that you were going to get people, entertainers that most of us would never pay to go and see, people that were twerking and doing all types of despicable things on stage that most of us could not relate to, you had them at your political rallies. How dare you look down upon us so much that you would think that was impressive to us? Or when you had all of your athletes come and try to threaten us about voting for your candidates. We don't care what an athlete says. An athlete has nothing in common with the average American family that cannot spend $200 and have one meal prepared for their families. So that was on you as well. And then all of the threats, not just to Donald Trump, but you were threatening people. And wait, I don't understand who you paid to do your campaign that told you that you could threaten 340 million people and get them to do what you said. Do you know, I don't know what you all have missed in history, but that didn't work 500 years ago. And it surely is not going to work today. When you decided that you were going to control all media and media was going to spend every bit of their time talking about Donald Trump. Donald Trump, Donald Trump, Donald Trump. When someone asks anybody from the Democrat Party any question about the economy, but Donald Trump, when you ask them about the wars, but Donald Trump, when you ask them about the children that were missing from the border, but Donald Trump, that's always.
Teach, lady. That woman is cooking. Anytime you wanted to hear any kind of policy or information, what Kamala got to do, it always revert back to, but Donald Trump. But Donald Trump this. They had no platform. Let's cook, lady.
Always your answer. Then you started really the Democrat Party. Any question about the economy, but Donald Trump. When you ask them about the wars, but Donald Trump. When you ask them about the children that were missing from the border, but Donald Trump. That's always your answer. Then you started really neglecting our people. You gave illegal immigrants up to $15,000 on a credit card. You paid for their housing, you paid for their food, you paid for child care, whatever they needed, and then transportation for them to fly across the country. And you gave nothing to Americans. As the people in Lahaina lost their homes and suffered and lost their children, and you wouldn't even let them go in to find their children. As the people in Ohio, their water was poisoned by all of these derailments that were very suspicious. You never went to check on them. As the people in the southeastern part of our country were suffering from hurricanes, you did not give them anything. And so you wonder why Americans did not support your candidates. They did not support your candidates because you have totally lost a connection with the American people. And not just one group of people, you've lost it with Black people, Hispanic people, Muslim people, Armenian people from all different parts of the world who have come here, and they came here as legal immigrants at some time in their past. You have lost control of all of America. You have no connection. The only people that you have connections with, and I will never down other Americans, are people who have always been beholden to you because of history. You know, it's a historical thing. So they support you because they don't know any better. And so I say to you, it's a historical thing. So they support you because they don't know any better. And so I say to you, when you start talking about us being unintelligent, us being racist, us being misogynistic, because it's only because of you. That's why. It has nothing to do with any of the above. It's because of you. You have lost control of the American public, and it's totally on you.
Teach, lady. Sis went in. Now, real quick, family, come on back here real quick. I have to explain something. My computer's a little slow right now because I got so many screens up. Family, I made a post on Facebook. White folk is not allowing no twerking spirit in the White House. When you're at a political rally and you pick the worst sexualization of women performers to come on stage and they sitting here twerking and shit. We're sick of that twerking shit. You heard the lady. It was disrespectful and unprofessional, and it was embarrassing. She said, these black folk is dumb. This all they like. Give them some twerking. He is gorilla. I mean, like, Meg the Stallion. This twerking and going on and acting a goddamn fool at a political event. You think white folk was going to have that kind of spirit up in the Oval Office? Have you lost your mind? It's pictures all on Facebook. What people talking about, oh, Project 2025 is about to reinstate slavery. Like, really? A bunch of fear mongering. There's pictures of guys talking about we about to wake up in the morning and be slaves again. Where do you guys get this nonsense? You've been brainwashed by MSNBC and CNN. Plain and simple. You fell for the okey doke and you weren't intelligent enough to see through it. What you say, Ola Risa Creel? Shucks, if she went $2 million in debt for the campaign, imagine her being in office. I was going to share that also. Might as well do it now. Right here. The Harris campaign, not 2 million, is in
and the Harris
$20 million debt. Meaning she couldn't even control and manage her own campaign and campaign funds. She's $20 million in debt.
Campaign now in debt, $20 million. Lindy Lee, one member of the DNC's finance committee, said,
and you guys wanted this heifer to be in the White House running the free world.
Says she and others, and the Harris campaign now in debt, $20 million. Lindy Lee, one member of the DNC's finance committee, says she and others were misled about the vice president's chance of winning the election. Lee says she helped raise millions for the campaign and now has to explain to donors why Harris lost.
Now, I just wanted to show that because you mentioned it. I had it up here, right? Now, let's get to the nitty gritty. Thurman, smart. I appreciate the $10 super chat. I really appreciate you, right? Thanks. Beverly Hasbury, how you doing? Now, I may freeze. Shit may go wrong. I got so many screens up. Check this out. You guys said Trump was racist. We asked Kamala Harris, what is she going to do for black folk? You know what she said. Not much. People asked for years what have Trump done for black folk. I kept telling them what he done for black folk. But black folk was so brainwashed by MSNBC, CNN, they could not see the light. Whatever someone said Trump did, whatever, yeah, whatever. They just blew it. They didn't want to hear anything. So you missed out and you spited yourself. There's math out here that says, let me just say this. I was thriving under Trump. Business-wise, oh my God. I had a 700 credit score. I was thriving. I was never broke. I was doing amazing. Soon as Biden came in, this last 2 years is the worst I've done financially in my entire adult life. I'm not making that up. This last 2 years has been a struggle for me. Sales are low. The economy's bad. Gas is high. Food is high. People were not buying my cannabis products. I was struggling. Do you think I would have the audacity to vote this same regime in that I struggled under? It looked like I froze. Did you guys hear me? Yeah. I would never vote this same regime in that I struggled under the worst in my adult life. And when I was thriving under Trump because he loosens regulations. They say, and this is math, anyone can look this up, don't believe me. The average family of four pays $1,200 a month more today than they did 4 years ago. That's a fact. Somebody said that. I had to look it up. Now, it doesn't say 12. It has other figures, but you got to put it together. A family of 4. Black folk. White folk, Mexican folk. But let's just stick with black folk for a minute, since most of my audience is black. If you have a family of 4, you're paying $1,200 a month or more. $1,200 a month more now than you did 4 years ago. I told you I was thriving under Trump. I'm struggling under this regime. That's a fact. You mean you continue this time to vote against your interests? You spited yourself just because this man said something wild. I learned to say, fuck these personalities. I don't care what wild shit he said. As long as I was thriving under him, as long as his policies helped me, as long as the principles he's talking about is in line with me, the values are in line with me, he can say what the hell he wants. I'm not going to spite myself voting for personalities over principles. You understand me? You guys were trying to vote in Kamala, and you're going to spite yourself just because you think someone's racist, because you think someone's against you, and they weren't. You see how this works? Black folks been in a liberal cult for decades now, and it's time to change. So let's go prove that he wasn't racist. Let's go prove that. What did he do for black folk? Show and prove that, Chief X. Okay. Now, you know what Kamala said, right? You know what Kamala said. What's she going to do for blacks? Nothing. But when you ask Trump and he wants to talk to Ice Cube and talk business and get shit together, he is down and did it. So listen what Trump said he's going to do for black folk, which is way more than what Kamala ever said. How can you go against him and vote for Kamala, who ain't going to do shit for you? Let's go, Trump.
For decades, Democrat politicians like Joe Biden have taken black voters for granted. They made you big promises before every election, and then the moment they got to Washington, they abandoned you and they sold you out. The Democrat Party used you and they lied to you every single time. You know it better than anybody else.
Paul, see, this is why, someone like you resonates with me. He says what the fuck he wants to say. He's not trying to be politically correct. Aren't you tired of people who's being politically correct? Get a realist up in here. Let's go, Trump.
The Democrat politicians like Joe Biden have taken black voters for granted. They made you big promises before every election, and then the moment they got to Washington, they abandoned you and they sold you out. The Democrat Party used you and they lied to you every single time. You know it better than anybody else.
They stayed lying.
The Democrats will always take back the vote. And I'm here today to announce a brand new plan to deliver more opportunity, more security, more fairness, and more prosperity to black communities. More security, more fairness, and more prosperity to black communities. We call it the Platinum Plan. Platinum.
Oh, yeah, he had a plan for you. You forgot, though. You forgot because you couldn't get your ass off the couch and turn off CNN.
And that's a contract with black Americans, and it's going to be something that people talk about for a long time to come. If you vote Republican over the next 4 years, we will create 3 million new jobs for the black community. Open 500,000 new black-owned businesses. Increase access to capital in black communities by $500 billion. Build up peaceful and safer urban neighborhoods with the highest standards of, and you know this, of policing. We want the highest standards. We have that.
Come on with it, Trump.
We have to have highest standards of policing, bring even greater fairness to the justice system. We did criminal justice reform. We remember that. Even greater, we will create a national clemency project to right wrongful prosecution, create a national clemency project to right wrongful prosecutions, and create a national clemency project to right wrongful prosecutions and to pardon individuals.
Go ahead. Then let me tell you something. What these liberals didn't tell you, what CNN didn't tell you. He did create these clemency programs and reduced a lot of people's sentences. And guess who they were? 90% of them people who got their sentence reduced were African American. What, Chief X? Do I need to show and prove? 90% of the people who he got sentence reduced in prison were African American. This is a fucking fact. And you guys were going to vote against that?
Who have reformed their life.
Okay. We just had to show and prove. But hey, let's take it a step further. Okay? Let's take it a step further. Because y'all said he was racist. But let me, you know what, let's do this then. Y'all said he was racist. Where's the damn video at? Hold on. Bear with me. Bear with me. Yep. Y'all said he was racist and you tried to deceive me. Which video is this? Hold on. Where is it at? This may be it. Hold on. No, that's the Dr. D. That's not the one. Hold on. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Y'all said he was racist. Let me share my screen. But black activists like Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson loved him. They lie on him today because he won the nomination. But they loved him. Show and prove, Chief. Okay. $19.99, Reverend Jesse Jackson praised Trump for his what? Lifetime of helping the black community. Teach him, Jesse.
I now want to bring forth a friend who has, well, he is deceptive in that his social style is of such. One can miss his seriousness and his commitment for their success is beyond argument. When we opened this Wall Street project and we talked about it.
He's giving Trump praise and talking about Trump. So this is what I mean by people my age ought to be ashamed of themselves because they know better.
He gave us space at 40 Wall Street, which was to make a statement about our having a presence there. Beyond that, in terms of reaching out and being inclusive, he's done that too. And created for many people a comfort zone when I ran for the presidency in 84 and 88. I ran for the presidency in 84 and 88. I ran for the presidency in 84 and 88.
Yeah. Trump donated to Jesse Jackson's campaign when he ran for president. Do racists do that? How y'all forget? Racists do all that and develop platinum plans and hugging up with Oprah Winfrey, and Oprah Winfrey was supposed to be his vice president if he ran back then. If Trump ran back then. Oprah loved him. Let's go.
And many others when I ran for the presidency in 84 and 88. And many others thought it was either laughable or something to avoid. He came to our business meeting here in New York because he has this sense of the curious and a will to risk to make things better. And so aside from all of his style and all of his style.
So this is what people, you hear his style. So Trump is not a good orator. He sucks at being an orator. He sucks at being a speaker. He's not even an intellectual. I'm talking about Trump now. This is just real talk. Trump is a finance man, a businessman, and he's a man like for the people. He has a different angle. So he's not going to sound like Obama and all slick and cool and be an intellectual. He has his own way and style.
To risk to make things better. And so aside from all of his style and his pizzazz, he's a serious person who's an effective builder of building for the builder people. Last year he was a part of our workshop, of our panel workshop on what are the challenges and opportunities. And so this, a year later, done a panel workshop on what are the challenges and opportunities. And
challenges and opportunities for black folk. He's always been for black folk.
So this, a year later, Donald Trump, for a few minutes, challenges and opportunities to embrace the underserved communities. Donald Trump.
He said the underserved communities. Did you hear him? Talk to him, Trump. Trump on him.
I will tell you, a large percentage of the people, and especially in construction, that are building these great jobs are black and minorities, and I'm very proud of it. We have close to 25%, and I think the number's going up, and they do, and I'm very proud of it. We have close to 25%.
25%? You mean you niggas is... Excuse my language, because some people may want to play this. You mean y'all only 14% of the population? And he got 25% of y'all working? Up in New York? The audacity of the Democratic Party lying to y'all.
And I think the number's going up, and they minorities, and I'm very proud of it. We have close to 25%, and I think the number's going up, and they do a great job. There are no better builders than we have in New York, and a big percentage of that is black and minority folks. So I just want to thank everybody in the room for being here. I look forward to some questions, and then I don't know how we're going to leave this building today, because if you look outside, it is terrible, but we'll figure a way. There's always a way, and thank you, Jesse, and congratulations.
Shut y'all's mouth. Look here. Oh, something's playing. Okay. Hold on, y'all. Okay. How do I get this thing off? Okay. Oh, we ain't finished. But my computer's freezing on me. Hold on. I got too many screens up. Let me shut some down that I already played. One second. I'm closing some of these windows of things I've played already. All right. You mean to tell me all them black folk and minorities in New York that Trump helped get jobs, they turned their back on him and voted against him now? Shame on you. Shame on you. Now, let's get to this. What has Trump done for black folk? This is cake. Somebody wanted to debate me on this shit. I would have smoked them. I would have embarrassed them in front of all their friends. I didn't want to do them like that because they called me racist because I had a MAGA hat on. The audacity. We sick of y'all lying. Right here is Donald Trump's website. He got the platinum plan written up for y'all. What did Kamala Harris have written up for y'all? What plans did she have for black folk? Y'all better stop. Look, let me see if I can expand this so we can see. Well, let me make it a little smaller. Hold on. The platinum plan, right? Opportunity, security, prosperity, fairness. I don't feel like reading all that, taking all this time. President Trump's promise to black America over 4 years. 3 million new jobs for black community, creating 500,000 new black-owned businesses, create access to capital in black communities by almost 500 billion, safe urban neighborhoods with the highest police standards, commit to working on Second Step Act, access to better education and job training programs, right? He had a plan for y'all. He couldn't work it because you guys fought him tooth and nail his first administration. Give black churches the ability to compete for federal resources in their community. What? He was looking out for the black churches so they can get more federal funding for their community? Nobody told you that, did they? Bring better and tailored health care to address historic disparities. Immigration policies that protects American jobs, right? Advance home ownership opportunities and enhance financial literacy in the black community. Onshore manufacturing to advance jobs and develop opportunities for black-owned businesses. What does it say? Paid for by Donald Trump for president. Oh, we can go on and on and on and on, but it'll take all day. Now, let's get away from this. And it's a site here, Black Americans for Trump, right? Well, what did he do, Chief? Oh, we're going to eat cheese tonight. Accomplishments. This is things he actually accomplished. President Trump did more for black Americans than any administration in history. Now, that's a bold claim. But let's just go through some things. Accomplishments. Barely a month after taking office, President Trump signed an executive order to move the federal HBCU initiative back to the White House, making sure it was key priority. The HBCUs, historically black colleges, has an office at the White House now when they previously didn't. So their needs and concerns can be heard. He gave funding, he made funding permanent to historically black colleges so they don't have to come back begging every year. It's permanent now. And he gave a little more than usual presidents did over the years. You guys didn't know this? They hid it from you. President Trump directed agencies across his administration to develop plans to enhance their support for HBCUs. Yes, he did that shit. As President Trump signed into law the Future Act, making permanent, like I told you, I didn't even know this was here, making permanent $255 million in annual funding for HBCUs and increasing funding for the federal Pell Grant program. It's HBCU presidents who loved that and praised it. Look up federal Pell Grant programs and HBCU presidents, okay? He made it permanent. Usually they have to come begging every goddamn year for some of this funding. Trump said, fuck all that shit. This shit is permanent. We got you. Okay? President Trump also signed legislation that included more than $100 million for scholarships, research, and centers of excellence at HBCU land grant institutions. Stop playing with us. President Trump forgave $322 million in disaster loans to 4 HBCUs in 2018 so they could fully focus on educating their students. God damn it! He forgave $322 million in disaster loans. And you guys had the audacity to spite him. President Trump's America's First agenda led over 350,000 black Americans lifting themselves out of poverty due to booming manufacturing and smarter trade policies. I'm telling you, I was thriving under Trump. Here's the thing what you got to understand. If you got a job, like my dad is a avid Democrat, he would go crazy if he thought knew I was supporting Trump. Like people like my dad who worked at the post office, people with jobs, you can't tell because you're going to get the same amount of income regardless of what president's in there or what president's doing. Your income is the same. It doesn't affect you. But people like me who are self-employed or people who have black businesses, they feel it. They felt the benefit. Their pockets were fatter. They were thriving. They were selling products. I was thriving. Not now. See, you should have listened to the black business owners. You should have listened to the black self-employed people. President Trump created Opportunity Zone programs, which led to $75 billion in new private investment into distressed communities, aka urban communities, aka the hoods. But guess what? I have to be honest because I'm a very, very honest person. The Opportunity Zone program failed. Let's just be real. But he made it happen. Why did it fail? Because black folk didn't black folk didn't care what he was doing. They ignored it. No Democrat TV, no media, no mainstream media, no MSNBC, CNN was telling people, hey, Trump put something out there for y'all to benefit. They didn't say that, so you didn't know about it. They hid it. But the program failed because black folk didn't take advantage of it. Plus, it costs, you got to have some money to make that program work. And a lot of black folk didn't have money. But there was a lot of scamming ass white folk who got into this program and benefited big time. Some Jews got into the program and benefited big time. They would try to improve black neighborhoods. You know how blacks say, hey, we want some nice restaurants in the hood. We want these nice shopping centers in our hood. We don't have this shit in the hood. Well, hell, Opportunity Zones was that chance. But nobody took advantage of it. That ain't on Trump. That's on the people. He tried to give it to you. But it did fail. And scammers end up getting into it because you guys didn't get into it. The new investment led to a rise in home values. Let me speak on this. And I'm pissed that people need to shut their mouth about this right here. Listen here. The new investments led to a rise in home values, creating $11 billion in new wealth in minority neighborhoods. Let me speak to that real quick. Because I live in Los Angeles County, L.A. I lived in Inglewood, Compton. I'm in L.A. now. I'm just from this area. Inglewood is about 10 minutes. No, Inglewood is actually 7 minutes away from me. Where the new Rams football stadium is. All them new businesses and new hotels all up in Inglewood. And these Inglewood residents talking this old dumb shit about gentrification and shit. But crying and voted for the Rams stadium to come. Black folk, yeah, bring us the Rams stadium, SoFi Stadium. Yeah, bring us these restaurants. Remodel these businesses. Make it look pretty when all this money come in town. Me personally, I love gentrification. It cleans up the neighborhood. I like to go to a Chinese restaurant a Greek restaurant, an Indian restaurant. I want to have choices. Everybody's not against what do you call it, gentrification no more like you used to, because we think about it differently now. And guess why? All them black homeowners in Compton, not Compton, all them black homeowners in Inglewood, guess what? Their property value doubled and tripled. Them niggas is balling. Let them sell their house. They gonna sell that house in Inglewood and retire somewhere and live good. People forgot all about that. The entire city of Inglewood, if you was a homeowner in Inglewood, your shit doubled and you living good now. If you sell your home or if you refinance, that helped all kind of homeowners. Now for renters, it may not have helped them. But for the homeowners, it helped them. And they had the audacity to spite Trump. Let's go. These are I'm reading right here. I'm reading accomplishments. Nobody wanted to debate me on this. I would have embarrassed you. Okay. Well, the majority of Opportunity Zone residents are minorities, including more than 7 million black Americans. Okay, we talked about that. President Trump signed into law the landmark First Step Act. Look up the First Step Act. That's an accomplishment that benefited black folk. The majority, where am I at? President Trump signed into law the landmark First Step Act into law. A major reversal from President Biden's 1994 crime bill. You guys forgot about Biden's 1994 crime bill? And President Trump cleaning that bullshit up for y'all? Trump cleaned all that prison shit up for y'all. Your uncles and cousins, all them dope dealers and act fools who's in prison. Harry O, who's supposed to be the original startup funder of Death Row Records. He pardoned Harry O and got him out. He served 30 years. That is enough. God damn, 30 years is enough. And he got him up out of there. Cutting sentences for black folk. Keep that shit real. But you wanted to vote for Kamala, talking about abortions and gay rights? Kamala alienated black men. She alienated Mexican men. She didn't resonate with us. We had nothing to do with her platform. It wasn't for us. Let's go. The bipartisan First Step Act was the first landmark criminal justice reform legislation ever passed to reduce recidivism and help former inmates successfully rejoin society. President Trump signed a ban on federal chokeholds in non-life-threatening situations and created a national database for police misconduct. You mean he cared if your black ass got put in a chokehold? He said, stop that shit. And you guys spited him for it. Rewind this to the beginning, Dr. Banoob. You missed out on a lot. Just rewind it. Stay out the chat. Educate yourself. And relax. I got you. President Trump promoted second chance hiring to give former inmates the opportunity to live crime-free lives and find meaningful employment. President Trump launched a new Ready to Work initiative to help connect employers directly with former prisoners. Now, you can look all this up I'm talking about. So when somebody asks you what President Trump did, go to this website right here, blackamericans.donaldtrump.com. Black Americans for Trump, and look at the accomplishments. Fact check them. Okay, President Trump awarded $2.2 million to states to expand the use of fidelity bonds, which underwrite companies that hire former prisoners. President Trump awarded over $333 million to the Department of Labor grants to nonprofits and local and state governments for reentry projects focused on career development services for justice-involved youth and adults who were formerly incarcerated. He was looking out for our community's trash or our community's people who made mistakes and served their time and wanted to get out and thrive. That's what he did for black folk. Okay? We cooking. We are cooking. What's up, Bev? I haven't been reading the comics, so I'll read them shortly. Yeah, somebody, what she say? Dr. Turner. Hey, that's my girl, Dr. Turner. He dated a black model before marriage, and the photo was online. Yeah, she was a biracial chick. She was black and white. He dated her for 2 whole years. She said, Trump has never said anything disparaging about races. What is y'all talking about? Where did y'all get this he's racist bullshit from? You got it from CNN, MSNBC, Kamala Harris, and everybody up under them who got fooled and brainwashed. I'm so sick of my homies who fell for this nonsense. Remember in the beginning of his lecture I said Trump's first 4 years, Republicans and Democrats was against him. Then he got out of office and, impeachment, all this old dumb shit. Then 4 years was Biden and Kamala. But that 4 years of Biden and Kamala, the Republicans came around and laid off of him and started supporting him again. But it was hell that his first 4 years was hell as an outsider. You guys didn't get it or understand it. Now, now that we proved without a shadow of a doubt he's not racist, a lot of y'all niggas need to apologize. We proved without a shadow of a doubt he done stuff for black folk, had plans for black folk, and Kamala didn't. You guys need to apologize. Where do I want to go next? Oh, we're not done. We are not done. Let's share my screen. See, you guys voted for a bunch of debauchery, child mutilation, gay rights, LGBTQ, alphabet gang, all kind of crazy shit. Y'all voted for all kind of wild shit. I remember when it was they had the music production WAP, Wet Ass Pussy, Cardi B, and all this twerking, all this shit that is against everything Kevin Samuels used to speak about. When I seen Megan twerking, when I seen all these women abortions and women power and black girl magic, the only thing I can think of was all them women who was against Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels died. And black women all online, but come on back to me, hold on. It pissed me off. Kevin Samuels died, and he was telling so much raw truth, and it was about family and bringing family back together. Black women were saying he got what he deserved. Black women celebrated Kevin Samuels' death. Kevin Samuels was just about black family values and us getting our shit together. Why you leave your baby daddy? Get back with your baby daddy. He was trying to mend families. What happened to your husband? Why you leave your husband? But women didn't want to hear this raw truth. So when I seen Meg and black girl power and abortions, that all that made me think of is this gender war that's going on up out here. If you guys are on social media, Facebook, whatever, you know it's a gender war. It's competition, the black man against the black woman type shit. And that's all I seen when Kamala Harris was campaigning. Twerking and shit. abortions, kill these babies and shit. LGBTQ and shit. Transgender rights and shit. I seen all this fuckery in my head. I said, no. I'm a conservative by nature. I'm not for that shit. You punk ass niggas right now is for that shit. You guys bitched up. You catered to your girl because 92% of black women voted for Kamala. Your girl punked you. Your wife punked you. You had no fucking balls and you didn't stand on nothing and say, get this shit up out of here. We don't want this shit in our schools and our children reading about trannies and shit and she-males. Get this shit out. You guys didn't stand on nothing. You guys were weak. And let's show you the fuckery when Trump stepped into office day one. This is the fuckery he's about to get rid of. Teach him, Trump. Let's go.
The left-wing gender insanity being pushed on our children is an act of child abuse. Very simple. Here's my plan to stop the chemical, physical, and emotional mutilation of our youth. On day one, I will revoke Joe Biden's cruel policies on so-called gender-affirming care. Ridiculous.
Ridiculous! Fuck all that dumb shit. What is y'all voting for?
I will sign a new executive order instructing every federal agency to cease all programs that promote the concept of...
This is some manly shit right here he's talking. He's speaking to you, men. You bitched up, though.
Sex and gender transition that promote the concept of sex and gender transition at any age. I will then ask Congress to permanently stop federal taxpayer dollars from being used to promote or pay for these procedures and pass a law prohibiting child sexual mutilation in all 50 states. It'll go very quickly. Furthermore, I will support the creation of a private right of action for victims to sue doctors who have unforgivably performed these procedures on minor children. The Department of Justice will investigate Big Pharma and the big hospital networks to determine whether they have deliberately covered up horrific long-term side effects of sex transitions in order to get rich at the expense of vulnerable patients.
He is for the people. He's not for all these lobbyists and these politicians getting rich off all this fuckery and all this old dumb shit y'all into. What the fuck is wrong with y'all?
In this case, very vulnerable. I will ask Congress to pass a bill establishing that the only genders recognized by the United States government are male and female, and they are assigned at birth. Genders recognized by the United States government are male and female, and they are assigned at birth. Genders recognized by the United States government are male and female, and they are assigned at birth.
That's a
The left-wing gender insanity being pushed on our children is an act of child abuse.
That's a president. I don't know what y'all is talking about or how y'all got confused about this shit. I don't know how y'all got confused. He coming up in the White House setting the shit straight. Standing on something. I stand on something. Let's go. This got the internet on fire right now. I'm cooking. Let's cook. Cook on them, Trump. Trump on them. Let these niggas know what you about to do, how you about to set this shit straight, and how all you black folk need to turn conservative next time. Let's go.
That's for misses, though.
He come in cooking. Cook, Trump.
We get the worst outcomes. We're at the bottom of every list. In total, American society pours more than $1 trillion a year into public education systems. But instead of being at the top of the list, we are literally right smack. Guess what? at the bottom. Rather than indoctrinating young people with inappropriate racial, sexual, and political material, which is what we're doing now, our schools must be totally refocused to prepare our children to succeed in the world of work and in life and the world of keeping our country strong so they can grow up to be happy, prosperous, and independent citizens. We owe our children great schools that lead to great jobs and leads to an even greater country that we're living in right now. Right now, we're living in a failing nation because of Joe Biden and these people running it. They're Marxists, they're communists. What they're doing
We're going to make America great again. Let's go.
to our country is incredible, but we'll take care of that for our children. Here are 10 key ideas that will power our movement for great schools. First, we will respect the right of parents to control the education of their children. Second, we will empower parents and
Pause. I forgot something. Since he said that, it reminded me. I think he's going to mention it. I'm not sure. But he gave us the ability to have school choice. Your kid don't have to go to that rundown school in Detroit where they fucking up just because it's in a neighborhood. You got a choice now, Trump said. He said this 8 years ago. He's going to make sure you understand it now. We making America great again.
local school board power our movement for great schools. First, we will respect the right of parents to control the education of their children. Second, we will empower parents and local school board to hire and reward great principals and teachers, and also to fire the poor ones, the one whose performance is unsatisfactory. They will be fired. Like on The Apprentice, you're fired. Third, we will...
See how you do that? See, we like that real talk shit, that real talk. A sense of humor. You ain't got to be PC.
ensure our classrooms are poor ones, the one whose performance is unsatisfactory. They will be fired. Like on The Apprentice, you're fired. Third, we will ensure our classrooms are focused not on political indoctrination, but on teaching the knowledge and skills needed to succeed. Reading, writing, math, science, arithmetic, and other truly useful subjects. Fourth, we will teach students to love their country, not to hate their country like they're taught right now. Fifth, we will support bringing back prayer to our schools. Sixth, we will achieve schools that are safe, secure, and drug-free. With immediate Sixth, we will achieve schools that will support bringing back prayer to our schools.
See, the black church should be happy about that, but all the black women said, no, fuck them prayers. Now, I'm not no religious person, but I don't care if they brought prayer back. I mean, but if you're a black woman in the church, that's something you should be happy about. But you vote against your interests. You don't know no better.
Sixth, we will...
First of all, I watched Deion Sanders and his team, and how Deion Sanders is really Christian. He prays, and the team prays together, and they, I love that shit. Although I'm not Christian, it brings some bonding together and hope.
Achieve schools that are safe, secure, and drug-free, with immediate expulsion for any student who harms a teacher or another student.
Damn.
Seventh, we will give all parents the right to choose another school for their children if they want. It's called school choice. Eighth, we will ensure students have access to project-based learning experiences inside the classroom to help train them for meaningful work outside the classroom. Ninth, we will strive to give all students access to internships and work experiences that can set them on a path to their first job. They're going to be very, very successful. I want them to be more successful than Trump. Let them go out and be more successful. I will be the happiest person in the world. But we want our children to have a great life and be successful. And 10th, we will ensure that all schools provide excellent jobs and career counseling so that high school and college students can get a head start on jobs and careers best suited to their God-given talents. This is how we will ensure a great education for every American child. And one other thing I'll be doing very early in the administration is closing up the Department of Education in Washington, D.C., and send...
Now this was one thing read in Project 25 that people didn't understand. They saying, oh, he's just trying to get rid of education. Nope, 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 nope. He's going to tell you he wants to give power over to the states. And that is the right way to do it. Smaller government. Give that power to the states. Let each individual state run their individual education program. It's the same concept as the DMV, Department of Motor Vehicle. First, it was a federal thing because it was horse and carriage and shit. You know what I mean? Then it came motor. Then they gave power to the states to control the Department of Motor Vehicle is a state thing. Get that shit to the state. Abortion ban. No. They just giving power to the state to run that shit and get that shit out the feds. Give the power to the states and let the states run their shit and keep smaller government. That's the fucking concept, Einstein.
All American child. And one other thing I'll be doing very early in the administration is closing up the Department of Education in Washington, D.C., and sending all education and education work and needs back to the states. We want them to run the education of our children because they'll do a much better job of it. You can't do worse. We spend more money per pupil by 3 times than any other nation, and yet we're absolutely at the bottom. We're one of the worst. So you can't do worse. We're going to end education coming out of Washington, D.C. We're going to close it up, all those buildings all over the place, and you have people that in many cases hate our children. We're going to send it all back to the states. Thank you very much.
Damn. That boy don't play.
Tuition costs at colleges and universities have been exploding, and I mean absolutely exploding. While academics have been obsessed with indoctrinating America's youth, the time has come to reclaim our once great educational institutions from the radical left, and we will do that. Our secret weapon will be the college accreditation system. It's called accreditation for a reason. The accreditors are supposed to ensure that schools are not ripping off students and taxpayers, but they have failed totally. When I return to the White House, I will fire the radical left accreditors that have allowed our colleges to become dominated by Marxist maniacs and lunatics. We will then accept applications for new accreditors who will impose real standards on colleges once again and once and for all. These standards will include defending the American tradition and Western civilization, protecting free speech, eliminating wasteful administrative positions that drive up costs incredibly, removing all Marxist diversity, equity, and inclusion bureaucrats, offering options for accelerated and low-cost degrees, providing meaningful job placement and career services, and implementing college entrance and exit exams to prove that students are actually learning and getting their money's worth. Furthermore, I will direct the Department of Justice to pursue federal civil rights cases against schools that continue to engage in racial discrimination. Furthermore, I will direct the Department of Justice to pursue federal civil rights cases against schools that continue to engage in racial discrimination. Cases against schools that continue to engage in racial discrimination.
Stop. Stop the cap. He always look out for black folk. Did you hear him? Kamala Harris could never articulate any of this shit he's saying or explain it or run this shit down to you.
Furthermore, I will direct the Department of Justice to pursue federal civil rights cases against schools that continue to engage in racial discrimination and schools that persist in explicit, unlawful discrimination under the guise of equity will not only have their endowments taxed, but through budget reconciliation, I will advance a measure to have them fined up to the entire amount of their endowment.
Damn.
A portion of the seized funds will then be used as restitution for victims of these illegal and unjust policies that hurt our country so badly. Colleges have gotten hundreds of billions of dollars from hardworking taxpayers, and now We are going to get this anti-American insanity out of our institutions once and for all. We are going to have real education in America. Thank you.
That's very interesting.
He cooked.
I think both of those points are very interesting. I'd like to see.
Now, pause. He's not down for the fuckery with our children. He's for the people. Trump has $7 billion. He don't give a shit about no goddamn lobbyists. He got his own money. He just want to make America great again. But we're going to end it with this because he really goes in right here. I almost had an orgasm listening to this one right here. Hold on. Where's it at? I think it's at the 10-minute and 23-second mark, and we're going to move on from this. But the way he went in right here, powerful. Powerful. This should make anyone excited. Now, what he's about to say can't be accomplished in 4 years. But if, I'm for sure another Republican can come in, we can piggyback off of what he's about to say right now. Listen.
There's a lot.
Past generations of Americans pursued big dreams and daring projects that once seemed absolutely impossible. They pushed across an unsettled continent and built new cities in the wild frontier. They transformed American life with the interstate highway system. Magnificent it was. And they launched a vast network of satellites into orbit.
Pause. What he's trying to say is they were making America great. They're doing these innovative things, highways and freeways and things like that. We're going to get back to that is what he's trying to say. But let me let him tell it. Let me shut my mouth. And I really appreciate the donations, Tunde. Somebody else gave me a donation. I'm so animated. I'm not, seeing and giving thanks. But thanks for the donation. I really appreciate it.
All around the earth. They were absolutely impossible. They pushed across an unsettled continent and built new cities in the wild frontier. They transformed American life with the interstate highway system. Magnificent it was. And they launched a vast network of satellites into orbit all around the earth. But today, our country has lost its boldness. Under my leadership, we will get it back in a very big way. If you look at just 3 years ago, what we were doing was unthinkable. How good it was, how great it was for our country. Our objective will be a quantum leap in the American standard of living. That's what will happen. Here are just a few of the ways we can do it. Almost 1/3 of the landmass of the United States of the ways we can do it. Almost 1/3 of the landmass of the United States is owned by the federal government, with just a very, very small portion of that land, just a fraction. 1/2 of 1%. Would you believe that? We should hold a contest to charter up to 10 new cities and award them to the best proposals for development. In other words, we'll actually build new cities in our country again. These freedom cities will reopen the frontier, reignite American imagination, and give hundreds of thousands of young people and other people.
I'm sorry to pause you, Trump, but this is what the money should have been going towards.
That's actually crazy. No, that is actually
We're
crazy.
We're gonna build new cities. We're gonna. I think about that all the time. These nice ass freeways. I'd be like, people really built a lot of this for miles on miles. These railroads were built.
Oh, they had a
miles
system.
and miles
They
on
said
miles on miles.
It's gonna go down here from Baltimore down here, then from Houston down all the way down to L.A. and up to Portland.
People
down
died.
To,
I'm talking about millions of people died because of that shit, bro.
Yeah.
That's actually so interesting.
Working
like
on the railroad.
new cities.
Remember how much there's people used to be working on the railroads.
Reignite American imagination and give hundreds of thousands of young people and other people, all hardworking families, a new shot at home ownership and, in fact, the American dream. Another big opportunity is in transportation. Dozens of major companies in the United States and China are racing to develop vertical takeoff and landing vehicles for families and individuals. Just as the United States led the automotive revolution in the last century, I want to ensure that America, not China, leads this revolution in air mobility. These breakthroughs can
mobility.
transform commerce, bring a giant infusion of wealth into rural America, and connect families and our country in new ways. Likewise, through our Strategic National Manufacturing Initiative, which is going to be very big and very, very successful, we will turn forgotten communities into hives of industry, producing the goods we will no longer import from China. We will also have a major initiative on lowering the cost of living with a special.
Trump is always talking about we need to produce our own goods, not always China. That's called jobs. That's called making America great again. Bring these jobs back that Clinton sent overseas. And this is what he's talking about by make America great again. Stupid.
Special focus on lowering the cost of a new car and lowering the cost to build a single family home. And they will be beautiful homes. And I will ask Congress to support baby bonuses for young parents to help launch a new baby boom. Finally, I'll challenge the governors of all 50 states to join me in a great modernization and beautification campaign, getting rid of ugly buildings, refurbishing our parks and our public spaces, making cities and towns more livable, ensuring a pristine environment, and building towering monuments to our true American heroes.
Wow.
Very importantly, I will
This sound
also
like a
make
Nazi.
sure all of these new places
I hate
are
these
safe.
people.
We love and cherish our police. They will do the job the way they have to. It is time to start talking about greatness for our country again. I will dramatically increase living standards and build a future that brings our country together through excitement, opportunity, and success. Thank you very much.
I'm gonna keep it 100. I want to see all that happen.
Hell yeah, I've never been so excited.
I'm
bro.
gonna keep it 100. I wouldn't be
American,
mad if
guys.
he start practicing
Vertical landing.
If he start talking about isolation of the U.S. and start focusing on 100 of the U.S.'s energy on
that's-
all these plans,
that's what he's trying to
I
do.
wouldn't be mad about that
That's
at
what he's
all.
trying to do.
I'll just
Pause. Family. This is what you got to understand the psychology of this. Let me come back to y'all. I told you we cooking tonight. We cooking tonight. We cooking. Look here. Trump was talking about a new baby boomer generation. But the other campaign was talking about abortions. This is crazy. You have to understand the psychology of this. Guess who gets the most abortions? You push a whole abortion agenda, who do you think they're talking to? Trump's talking about baby boomers. Trump ain't got shit to do with Jeffrey Epstein. We're not over here spreading no lies today, Dr. Banu. We're kicking some real shit, and I'm showing and proving everything I said. Every claim I say, I'm showing and proving on it. Let's go. Where we at now? We're almost done, folk. But we about to get to some more nitty gritty shit. Hold on. Two more things, two more clips. Right? Let me share my screen. And I want you to listen to this and listen to the psychology of it. First of all, let me do this again real quick. I couldn't believe the lack of understanding and brain power a lot of my brothers and pro-blacks and all these old people who's confused. Why are you supporting Trump? And everybody was spreading these badass, fake-ass rumors, the Project 25 fake rumors. They about to implement slavery again and shit. Slavery is in Project 2025, and he wanted to give the police immunity. You know what I mean? When they give them police immunity, they can do what the police can do what they want. They can shoot us and kill us, and they can just get off. You had it all wrong. Let me explain it to you. And Kamala said, "Oh, I want to give the police immunity." You had it all backwards because you didn't do your research and look it up. That's a bunch of bullshit. Here's the key. The immunity was for civil lawsuits, not criminal prosecution, Einstein. You didn't know that, did you? So when they was talking about give the police immunity or give federal employees immunity, they're talking about immunity from civil lawsuit. Let me explain. So when you protect an employees from civil lawsuits, that's a good thing. My dad, a federal employee who worked for the post office for 50 years. So if I go into the post office, police was just one example, but we're talking about other employees. If I go in the post office and a postal clerk and me get into it, and she cuss me out, whatever, and we get into it, and she, throw something at me or whatever, I got into whatever happened. You cannot have a bunch of people who was in the post office that day putting a civil lawsuit on an employee. That would be fucked up. Because normal, everyday people can just be putting civil lawsuits on employees. That ain't right. It's not immunity from criminal prosecution. Any and everybody in America, whether you're police, anybody, if you commit a crime, you're getting prosecuted. Nobody has immunity from criminal prosecution. How did you guys think otherwise? Why would you guys think, police can just kill us at will? You had it all wrong because the Democrats and the liberals miseducated you. Hey, Dr. Banu, we don't give a shit about nobody getting no pussy. Good. That's some man shit. We can't help it that Biden wasn't getting no pussy. Fuck him. I don't care if the people who I'm voting in office is tricking off money. I don't give a shit. I'm not going to spite myself and pay $1,200 a month more every month just because he got some pussy and votes for somebody else. You see how this shit works? Don't vote for personalities. You vote for principles. This is what I keep saying. I don't give a fuck if Trump said bitches and hoes and was walking around the White House saying bitches and hoes. Like I'm going to get, oh shit, Trump said bitches and hoes. Oh, I'm voting for Kamala. No, I'm going to spite myself because he said something stupid. Are you kidding me? Nope. On fire. We cooking. See, you niggas got shit twisted. What you guys did was vote for personalities and spite it yourself. You stupid motherfuckers. Let's go. What do I want to talk about? Let's go. We did that one. This is the one I want to get to. Let me share my screen. Well, I did share my screen. This is what I wanted to get to. You know, 78% of black men this election season voted for Trump. It was like 89 last time Trump ran. We moved over to Trump's side. Men did. There's a reason for that. Majority of Mexican men moved over to Trump's side. It's a reason for that. All this shit is psychological propaganda, and it's about what you resonate with. I, as a man, a Mexican as a man, cannot resonate with a campaign that is only talking about abortion and women's rights. That has nothing to do with me. I'm alienated now under what she's talking about. She's not talking about nothing I want to hear, nothing that touches my heart. She's not doing any activities that touches me and touches my heart. I'm sitting here watching Trump at UFC mixed martial arts fights. He love them, doing man shit, Trump is in an audience at the boxing matches and shit. Trump used to be a boxing promoter. You guys forgot? Man shit. Every shit he's talking about, we're going to take care of our kids. No more mutilations. He's talking man shit. He's not talking this gay LGBTQ shit. You niggas got soft. Let me play this. I watch UFC, which is mixed martial arts sports, every Saturday. I've seen every one since day one in the 90s. It's my favorite sport because I used to box and wrestle, so I love combat sports, right? Trump's up in there kicking it at combat sporting events. I never seen Biden. I never seen Kamala at any events I'm into. Even Obama goes to sporting events and basketball games and things. He's shooting hoop, doing man shit. We can't resonate with Kamala, so we didn't fuck with her. Let's go.
Young men voted for Trump. Winston, this is a great story. Young men shifted nearly 30 points to the right since 2020. Analysts say it's because of the new media, masculine cultural figures help them appeal to Gen Z guys. It's because of the new media, masculine cultural figures help them appeal to Gen Z guys. My theory is that they like real dudes, and there were no real dudes on the other side. Is that they like real dudes, and there were no real dudes on the other side. Is that they like real dudes, and there were no real dudes on the other side.
The other side had twerking and gay rights, LGBTQ shit, Meg the Stallion, girl power, and all this old fuckery. So men swung to Trump because we like man shit. She alienated my ass. Fuck her. She called me racist. She called me Nazi just because I wanted to vote for Trump. Fuck her. Oh shit, my shit froze.
You're a young man. What's your analysis?
Hey, well, you know, this is actually happening across the world, not just in America. It happened in my country, in England, in July at the elections. Women are going left, men are going right. Now, it's not really a surprise. For the last 10 years, they've told us patriarchy, this toxic masculinity, that even in the Kamala campaign, they were actively and openly denigrating men. Dana Bash at the DNC, she was saying we need to appeal to low-T men. No wonder they put Tampon Tim as the running mate. In fact, he sums it all up. It was such a joke.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Well, on the other side, you have Elon parallel parking 40-foot story rockets.
Yeah.
No wonder. I want to be on that team. And it gets better still. Women, it turns out women want actual alpha men too.
Right.
Women like real men, it turns out. And
he's talking about white women and all these. Black women didn't give a shit about none of that shit. Because it's a gender war. She don't need no man. 92% of black women went for Kamala. Black women on some whole other shit. So when he said women, turns out like real men too. Because, you know, people turn towards Trump this time. Let's go.
And it gets better still. Women, it turns out women want actual alpha men too.
Right.
Women like real men, it turns out. And
to that point, Kat, young women also shifted to the right by 14 percentage points. That's almost 15, Kat. But more than 13. But not 15, 14.
Okay. Kamala, I feel like Kamala could have just like said something nice about dudes at some point. I was looking at her Twitter, X, whatever it's called, and I just searched the word. Kamala, I feel like Kamala could have just like said something nice about dudes at some point. I was looking at her Twitter, X, whatever it's called, and I just searched the word men. And she had some things like, this is for Latino men. And then she had another one, this is for black men. And so it was still very much through the lens of race. And yes, as you point out, all the men surrounding her were like, listen, first of all, as a dude, I'm sorry that I'm a dude. Like, that was the vibe that they brought to the function. And I think that there's just so much of that people, they just, you're inherently bad because you're a man, then where are you supposed to go from there?
Exactly.
And then Trump, I think also combined with the fact of being told he was evil, he was Hitler, he was this, he was that, you see him just kind of joking around on some of these podcasts, with the podcast that a lot of these men just watch for fun. That really put it at that picture at odds, and it made them a lot harder for them to do.
Yes, and he also did our show for an hour, and
he did, exactly, ours is he did our show. And he's on with Andrew Schultz. He's on with Joe Rogan. On MSNBC, someone said they heard from a voter who said they literally voted for Trump instead of Kamala because Kamala wouldn't do Joe Rogan.
Yes.
And if y'all missed that Trump interview on Joe Rogan, amazing interview. I strongly suggest you go back and watch Joe Rogan Trump interview. 3 hours long. Just sitting there talking some real shit and just being a normal human. They about to speak on that. Okay? Kamala refused to go on Joe because she said, I'll only go on an hour. And she wanted to script it. He couldn't, so Joe said, fuck Kamala. We ain't fucking with Kamala. And that interview on Joe Rogan got 50 million views. Kamala interview only got maybe 2 million views on Club Shay Shay. So you see who people were feeling and who people were into, who people want to listen to talk. People rather prefer sit down, listen to Trump talk in an interview than Kamala. Let's go.
All right. Tyrus, we kept hearing about the bros for Kamala. And they were, again, like you said, they were on Instagram and on X.
That should let you further know they weren't bros.
Yeah.
They were hoes for Kamala.
My husband hasn't posted on Instagram in like 3 years.
Yeah,
right?
no man says had breakfast, feeling great, ready to go out, took 4 deep breaths, ready to man up with Kamala Lamala. Never happened, Greg. President Trump he's a dude, and he's one of the boys, as we would say in wrestling. When I did my sit down with him, even when our interview was over, we were talking about boxing and football and just guy stuff and kid stuff to the point they're like, Mr. President, you got a really important dinner to go to. He's like, but I'm talking to my bro. And I was like, appreciate you, but you probably should go to that Catholic dinner. And he went. And the reason why his papers were all messed up, because he was hanging out with me. He was like, I didn't read these jokes in time. I don't want to tell you why, because he stayed for 1 extra beer with the bros. And we respect that. You tell us we're wrong. We open the door. How dare you? We pull a guy off you from trying to attack you in the subway. He's just as bad. No one's voting for that. And here's the deal. Women want men to be men. They have girlfriends. They don't need the men to come in. Like, I sat in on one Tupperware party once. And all I said, when it was my turn, I was like, it's a bowl. What is it?
Yeah.
And then I broke my own neck and got out of it. So
It's almost over. One more minute.
But it wasn't men, it wasn't women, it wasn't gay, straight. I said it was everybody. Everybody was in the room. Jamie, I'm sure you're used to this. You're up there doing your best, and everyone in the audience is like, is he talking about?
Yeah.
Let's go. And they all just go. And that's what happened. It was across the board. You can joke like that.
Yes.
Yes.
He's not going to cry.
No.
Don't you cry, Jamie.
No.
Don't you do it, Jamie.
I hope they don't shut my video down from me playing other people's shit, but fuck it.
I thought a lot of great points and insults were made. I didn't even know that about England. That makes sense to me because, like, I lean right, my wife left.
Nicely done.
I don't think it's that crazy that somebody said they wouldn't vote for Kamala for not being on Joe Rogan, because I think some people get it wrong when they say it's because they like Rogan, it's because they're fans of Rogan that they're. That's not the case. It's because it's a place where you can hear them be a real person. I don't think it. I think not the case. It's because it's a place where you can hear them be a real person. I don't think it. I think Rogan has the reach, but it's because J.D. Vance and Trump came out and were real human beings for 3 hours, and you were like, holy, like that's who I'm voting for, which we never got from Kamala. She treated America like it's always a first date. Right? Like it's always the first date. Like we couldn't find out anything bad and still like her. It was like that, which I'm, you know, I say whatever they want to hear on a first date. I'll tell them things like I'm leaving soon, whatever. But I think it's the real person variable, which is like even like her speeches, man. They're like it could be AI. I watched her last speech in closed caption, and right in the middle, the lady wrote this job, and that was it. It just.
All right. Now I think we're about done. Let me just make sure. And I'm gonna give my little closing remarks. Does my camera look crooked? I think it is. Okay. Okay. It was something. Let me make sure I got everything that I wanted to say. You know what? It is one more goddamn thing I want to play. And a lady who agrees with me, and this is the last part. Angela Stanton. I really don't like Angela Stanton like that, but she makes a lot of profound points because she's a kind of a conspiracy chick, right? So let's just play this, and we're gonna end it. But Angela Stanton, a black woman, kicks some real shit from the heart and breaks it down in a different kind of way. Okay, real quick. So Kamala's campaign was kind of an anti-man campaign. See, you know, we were isolated from her. She alienated us. Like, you know, you got to think about this shit. Now, here we go.
Answer me this though, Angie. I need you to talk to two separate people for me. For the black women that were 100% pro Kamala Harris, that are just so scared of Trump, and they think that this is just the worst thing that could have ever happened in America. They're at home crying right now. Some folks are just so depressed they don't even know what to do with themselves. What do you have to say to them to comfort them or to redirect all of that energy into something
I think you
progressive?
should be just like Kamala. Trust white man. She trusts the white man so much that she married him and she sleep with him every single night. Trust white man, okay? Trust white man. All right. Let's get our country back on track. It's not gonna hurt nothing. Like what we've done as a people is we've been loyal to a party and we haven't been loyal to ourselves. We are voting against ourselves. Black party and we haven't been loyal to ourselves.
I've been saying it. We've been voting against our own interest because we're in the Democratic cult and we can't see no other thing.
We are voting against ourselves. Black women, you can't say you for women's rights and you standing for men taking over women's sports. Like I watched that presidency and I watched them use that black.
Yep, we sick of having men in women's sports. That's some liberal Democrat bullshit. You guys are voting for men to be in women's sports. That's that Kamala Biden shit. Why are you guys doing this?
Maternal health crisis thing as a scare tactic. But then I watched Joe Biden sit down and have a one-on-one with a white transgender guy to talk about gender affirming care. You got black women dying giving birth to their children and you promising sex changes to men and children on tax dollars? Kamala, instead of you sitting down doing an interview with black women promising health care to them because of a black maternal health crisis, you sitting down promising sex changes to men that are in prison. You gonna give them a sex change. If I got a life sentence, it is so insane that you would want to take tax dollars to pay for sex changes, but we're not taking those tax dollars and investing them into this black maternal health crisis or into Auntie Angie's house to really give these black women an opportunity
I think it was
to love their kids.
I think it was all cap. And people say and do anything to get that vote. You know, now that we have Trump and
Men in women's bathrooms and shit. Like y'all on some crazy shit.
a lot of people went against Trump. What you got to say to the people that went against him and think that he cheated? Like how did Trump even win when so many people was against him?
Because reality is not what it seems to be. You know, things changed since the 2020 election. You know, we had watchers out there. People were not able to cheat. We see
We
one
also
thing.
got closet Trump supporters too.
Oh, we got a lot of people that took, you know, campaign money from Kamala them and went and voted for Donald J. Trump. Okay, but in addition to that, the people spoke, and stop trying black men. Y'all don't even respect black men. You won't let them have a voice in whether or not their children live or die when it comes to abortion, okay? You don't respect them. You don't acknowledge it when black men are speaking like they're, unless if you're not a effeminate black man, look at what they represented in Joe Biden's White House. They had Billy Porter out there in a dress, bending over, kissing Joe Biden's hand. Now, no offense to Billy Porter, who's a black man who's confessed he had AIDS, and they put him on Sesame Street to teach children about sex. Who's a black man who's confessed he had AIDS, and they put him on Sesame Street to teach children about sex. That was some weird shit to me. And then he was like, he made some comment about the children are ready, but it's the parents who are in the way. I don't know what the fuck that was all about. But let's just be serious for a minute.
The parents are in the way.
You're disrespecting black men. And to my other point, you had said something, I wanted to get to this earlier when I was talking about black women not being the carriers of life. This is why we got to protect black men. And we got to protect those black babies that become those black boys. And then we got to protect the black boys to make sure that their manhood isn't taken before they even become men.
That's right.
Because me as a black woman, I can't create black life. All I have is a womb. I can go have sex with a white man, an Asian man, a Latino man, and I can give life to their seed. But the only way for me to procreate and to give black life is I have to have the seed of a black man.
Exactly.
If you are voting against a black man and you came from the nutsack of a black man, you're voting against yourself.
And people don't even see it. People do not see it. What you guys say about all of this celebrity stardom that went behind Kamala campaign, like Beyonce?
Man, wasn't that amazing?
Sometimes Angie Stanton say some real shit. She be saying some real shit, but she's a quack in other kind of ways though. But go ahead, Angie.
And they, reports
Big
are
Fridas
circulating.
and Megan Thee Stallion.
Well, let's see what do they represent? Because when you look at their music, and y'all in the music, and we're gonna be honest, because we gonna had these conversations before. Planned Parenthood is the #1 funder of the Democrat Party. Every Democrat in office is funded by Planned Parenthood. Let's talk about, remember, Meg Thee Stallion got the Planned Parenthood Catalyst for Change Award. Y'all remember that? Why is Planned Parenthood so important? Okay? Well, if Meg Thee Stallion is talking about being a freak and wet ass pussy, and Cardi is talking about being, promiscuous music and ideologies lead to promiscuous sex that leads to unwanted babies, right? And then unwanted babies lead to what? Abortion, right?
Exactly.
So all of this is funding back to Planned Parenthood. It's marketing. Every person that was on that stage, right, was a spokesperson for Planned Parenthood. Let's be honest. Where are all of your Planned Parenthood clinics at in our community? 'Cause we could go pull up on Moreland right now. You can't find a life resource center, but you can find an abortion clinic. So reports were circulating that Beyonce was paid $10 million to come speak for 10 minutes.
She spoke about how it's gonna affect her kids, though.
Well, I don't think did Beyonce need $10 million? It's like, what I'm getting tired of, what I see with the Democrat Party, is you always bringing people that done made it to tell us how bad off we are. Like, I don't need Beyonce getting on the stage telling me how fucked up I am. I need Beyonce taking half of that $10 million she got and donating it to Auntie Angie's house so I can make sure some other black women are straight, right?
Yeah.
I don't need Jay-Z going on the mic. I don't need Diddy going on the mic. I don't need LeBron James going on the mic. Like, all of these people, them and they children, they're straight.
Yeah, exactly.
We Oprah Winfrey, shout out your abortion. You gonna tell black women to abort their kids and take pride in it, okay? But still, you got all this money. Let's uplift black women. Instead of telling them to abort, let's give them some free game. Let's help them be financially free so they don't feel like they have to abort their children. So I think in this Usher, I don't know, and I love Usher.
Yeah.
It seemed like the whole Democrat campaign was one big Diddy party.
Speaking of that, what do you think about the Epstein list and the Diddy list coming out? What's going on with that, Angie? Do you have any inside source?
All right, let me start. Here we go. That's some conspiracy shit. All right. So, that's it. What up, Onyx Palms? What's up, Beverly? I'm pretty much done, Beverly. I don't know if you... I seen you were here in the beginning. I don't know if you've seen the end of it. Yes, I'm about to end it. So, real quick, y'all. Kamala Harris, let's just be honest, family, and it's okay, was the worst nominee to ever run for president in the history of mankind. Sarah Palin was second. Sarah Palin was better than her. It's crazy. I didn't really hear her answer any questions. She seemed extremely dingy. I'm from California. Kamala's from California. She was the attorney general here. She only got that position because of Willie Brown she was fucking. I mean, so she got her positions not from earning them. They asked Kamala, have you ever prosecuted a case? Uh-oh. So look here. I started looking it up. Damn. Did Kamala Harris ever prosecute a case? Because it was a politician who asked her that in a debate. Come to find out, she helped work on a lot of prosecution cases. She just never had her case from beginning till trial, period. Now, to be honest, someone did come up with some facts that maybe throughout her career, she prosecuted maybe 14 cases in her career, like from start to the end of trial. Most of the cases, she just helped out other trial attorneys and shit like that. I never knew that. So she got put in her position, put in this position, elevated to this position. It's all a fucking game. She was unqualified. Big time. You know, it was a sad situation. It was embarrassing. But all the while, the people who majority listened to CNN and MSNBC were totally clueless. The cult leaders were talking to you. The cult leaders of media, the mainstream media, every day for 8 and 4 years was feeding you nonsense, lies on Trump. Fake narratives all day long. You know when I changed? I had to ban somebody from ever commenting. You know when I changed? I used to do volunteer work for Obama's first campaign. I said, I want to see this man get into office. Yeah. I'm at the call centers in Carson. Calling, hey, you going to vote? We need you to do. I'm at the call centers for Obama, helping his campaign. I was hyped. I'm watching MSNBC and CNN all day, every day. I was addicted. I would go home and turn on CNN. Then I switched to MSNBC. And I kept doing that. But after his 4 years was up, something hit me. Because it was certain things that didn't go my way that I thought Obama may have been into or done for black folk or what have you. I got a little, what's the word? I got a little bothered. And I started hearing some other news. I said, wait a minute. I might be brainwashed. I might be in some kind of cult because if there's a two-party system in my whole entire 54-year life, I'm only listening to one side. I'm only getting news and media from one side for decades. I've been brainwashed. I've been biased. So what I did was I said I'm going to stop listening to MSNBC and CNN. And for months, I just listened to Fox News. I did this for myself. And I just listened to Fox News. I said, oh, these are whole other perspectives. Manu, you got to chill right now, bro. Seriously, just chill out. This ain't for all that bullshit. We kicking real shit tonight. Your feelings may be hurt about the election. We're not doing that tonight. If I said something wrong and didn't prove it, then say that. But all that other bullshit, we're not doing. Listen here. So I listened to Fox News for a while. I started listening to independent media on YouTube of different conservatives, different black conservatives. I started listening to Thomas Sowell. And he became, in my mind, one of the greatest intellectuals I've ever listened to. And he was a conservative. So I said, God damn. I never realized that the Democratic Party and liberals lied so much until I gave the other news and the right side a chance. And I was pissed at myself that I was brainwashed so long and only one-sided bias. Once I started listening to the other side, then it revealed to me that, damn, these motherfucking Democrats be lying their ass off. They was pushing victimhood mentality. I remember Maxine Waters, which I used to like Maxine Waters. She'd be Maxine Waters, like, yeah, go get him. But in here in LA, there's homeless camps everywhere, trash everywhere. I say Maxine Waters ain't doing shit but talking shit. Her district is fucked up. Drive around Maxine Waters' district one day. You're going to say this shit is trash. All they were was talking and shit all the goddamn time and acting like blacks, we got your back. Defund the police. What? Defund the police would be the worst thing that could happen to a black neighborhood. Chaos would happen. Death and destruction will happen. It's only the Democrats talking this crazy shit. And Maxine was like, get out there and push back. And I start realizing when we have riots and these political crime cases, and I'm watching shootings of white boys getting shot in the back by police. And I'm like, why isn't this on the goddamn news? White men getting killed by police. You know, just unlawful shit. I'm watching it. I said, this shit never makes it to the news. The only thing that made it to the news, I realized, was white-black conflict or white cop black person conflict. But the white-on-white conflict never, ever made the news. I said, what's going on here? And they doing this political shit and political cases for my vote. Lying. Maxine Waters was pushing people to riot. And I started realizing all the riots, all the burning is done by Democrats and liberals. Democrats and liberals are tearing cities up across America. But guess what Republicans were doing? Protecting property, because that's their ideology. The little white boy that shot and killed three people during the riots, Rittenhour, black folk was against him. But I'm a gun guy. I'm like, what? These were clear cases of self-defense. A motherfucker came at him with a skateboard, was about to crack him in the head with a skateboard and knock him out. That's called maiming someone. And he shot him before it happened. clear case of self-defense. And his blacks all on you on Facebook mad at Rittenhauer for protecting his own life. What was he doing there with guns? He was there to protect property, goddammit, while you guys tear up property. So my whole ideology starts changing. My thinking changed. I'm watching these white. I've never seen white folk protest, but yeah, I mean, it's just crazy. So I turned conservative because I realized I was getting fed a bunch of bullshit for 50 long years. Another example is what I changed. I thought about this. I'm for welfare. It's okay. But personally, I began to believe people should have welfare shouldn't be something for a lifetime. You know, it's some women out here in the hood who've been on welfare forever. Since they gave birth day one and had 4, 5, 10 kids, and they stay on welfare forever. And I start thinking, the Nation of Islam has this philosophy which they call do for self. Do for self philosophy. I'm down with that. That is actually a conservative philosophy that the Nation of Islam always pushed. Do for self, right? So one of my examples was my own daughter, right? My daughter, who's 28 right now, 29, my oldest child, my daughter's 29, had a baby, was getting welfare money, $500-$600 a month, right? And I'm like, she fell out with her grandma, and my daughter and my grandbaby moved into my little one-bedroom apartment with me because she fell out with her grandma. Stayed with me for 7 months. I'm in my room while she and my grandbaby had the living room. I had a nice time because I developed a bond with my grandbaby. But I'm observing my daughter this whole time, and she's drinking Hennessy and kicking it during the day, during the night, right? And she's on welfare. And this 7 months, I'm in my room. I can't have no female company. I'm not getting no pussy. But I love my daughter and my grandbaby, so I made a sacrifice. Yes, y'all can stay here. For 7 whole months, I ain't getting no goddamn pussy. I had no female company because I'm in a little one-bedroom. But at this point, I'm thinking about shit. Is this shit going to ever end? So I'm thinking about it. I'm telling my daughter, are you going out looking for a job? Go get a job. But she got comfortable with that $600 a month. I realized that I told her, you will never, ever, 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 ever get your own apartment if you're on welfare. This is California. You can, one bedrooms is $1,500. $600 a month cannot pay for a one bedroom in California. So it triggered that as long as she stay on welfare, she'll never ever have her own apartment. One day I jumped in her shit and went off. I never snapped on her before, but she was drinking during the day one time, and I just got fucking pissed off. I'm looking at my grandbaby, and she's not in school yet, but I think she may be a little bit behind on learning her alphabets. Something a mama should be teaching a baby at home before they even get to goddamn kindergarten, right? So I snapped one day and went off. I said, don't bring no goddamn alcohol up in my house no more. And I went off on her and just started bringing up shit she did in the past that I never got on her for. She was involved in some dude she was dating, you know, some thug ass nigga, and him and his homie, and she's driving have the car, and they rob a goddamn video store, run out the video store and jump in the car, and she drives away. She gets arrested. I never got on her about that. So I said, you got to watch who you hanging with. What are you doing? Right? But anyway, so I went off on her one day hard. And she started packing her shit and called her granny and left my goddamn house. But a month later, guess what? She got a job and got off welfare and got her own apartment. So when I say temporary, meaning as long as you have this crutch, it's going to keep you stagnant to not want to get out there. It's not going to force you. So once she left my place, she was forced to get out there and get a job so she can have her own apartment and be comfortable. But if I didn't never get on her, she probably would have still been living with me, no job, comfortable with $600 a month. They removed that crutch from her, and she got her own apartment now and has it ever since. So me jumping on her shit was necessary because she's been around them goddamn women too goddamn much. Her grandmama and her mama's side of the family and them goddamn aunties, and they've been babying her all the goddamn time. She needed to hear some man shit. Get off your motherfucking ass and get out there and go to work. And that triggered her, and she's fine today. You get what I'm saying? So I even have a low-income housing. But in my opinion, when you get older, you know what I mean, it's okay to get some low-income, some kind of welfare. I mean, you sometimes when you get older, you're not able to go out there and work, so it's okay. But these kids, 20s, 30s, and 40s, need to be out there fucking working. And these 20, 30s, and 40-year-olds need to be on welfare for temporary. Let's say, hey, we're going to take care of you 6 years, and you got to get your ass off welfare. So the welfare state is what broke up families, and the black people thriving start going downhill because of the welfare state. Women had a crutch that they can lean on, which made them not go out and be all they can be. Same with men. You see what I'm saying? So I just wanted to break that down. These are the reasons why I turned conservative. Okay? Oh, also, I'm a gun guy. And in California, this one-party state, they won't let us conceal and carry to protect my life. So that's a value of mine, is I want to be able to conceal and carry so I can protect my life, my family, and my property. In California, this is how deep it is. If someone had a axe and was coming to fuck me up, and I pulled out my strap and blasted on him, guess what? The DA's office can prosecute me for manslaughter or murder. Why? Because I wasn't supposed to be concealing and carrying. I broke the law. So what we're supposed to do in California is you're supposed to call the police, wait for the police to come, help you and protect you. By that time, I'm fucking dead. I can't run for motherfucking 15 minutes until the police get here. If someone, I'm out in the streets with my wife and 2 kids in the back, and some maniac come fucking with us, I should be able to protect my family. But not in California. Not in New York. We're not supposed to conceal and carry. So since Democrats have been against that, I'll vote red. A lot of conservatives are not against that. So voting for Democrats, I'm voting to be helpless. If someone wanted to harm me. You get what I'm saying? Gun control issues and shit. So I turned conservative because I learned to vote my principles and not personalities. Trump can say any wild, crazy shit off the wild shit he wants to. I'm not voting for his personality. I'm voting for them policies. You get it? So that's all I wanted to say. How long? I've been streaming for 2 hours and 18 minutes. I was going to put the link in and allow somebody on, but I don't think nobody want to come on. And I'm hungry. So I'm going to find me something to eat. And thanks for allowing me to share. And if anyone watched this video from minute 1 till now, I guarantee you next year they're thinking, yeah, I'm voting Republican. I'm a conservative now. I get it, Chief X. You were right. I didn't see the light. I did get brainwashed because I only listened to one-sided news. Rashonda Hayward, my moderator, is the best moderator this side of the Mississippi. Donnie Williams second. Ladies first. Well, Rashonda Hayward's fine ass. Thank you, Fetty. You know what I mean? I've been thinking about this presentation for the last 4 days, right? So I said, let me put something together and show and prove, and I want to show that Donald Trump ain't racist. We've always loved Trump and pumped up Trump. So you know what? Let's just go out on this. You know what I mean? Did none of these rappers you hear 67 times rappers praise Trump? Did none of them think he was racist? Did none of these black artists think he was racist? You got brainwashed by Democrats. Kick it, old dirty bastard. Oh, hold on. Y'all can't hear it? Hold on. Let's just do this. Okay. Let me answer this question because Dr. Banoob asked it. Can y'all hear me well? Let me clean this bullshit up. Anytime a politician runs for office, the opposite side or their opponent has to play politics and dig up your history and find dirt on you. They bet not dig up my history. I got all kind of dirt. And everybody in the chat got some dirt. If they ran for president, somebody going to dig up on you. It's a given. Stop the cap. Now, they couldn't find shit on Trump because he's been friendly with the black community, as I showed you if you didn't see earlier. They couldn't find shit on Trump, and they found two things that they can come up with to try to slander him and play the mind game with you so you won't vote for him. And they can label him and put a fake narrative on him, right? Check this out. The issue with him discriminating against a black for living in their building. Bunch of bullshit. Trump has been rich. Rich people don't deal with renters at all. I'm a former realtor, bro, and loan officer. Rich people do not deal with renters. They don't go over no goddamn renter's application. They don't talk to renters. They have property management companies who handle all that shit for them and manage all their properties, and they deal with tenants who's turning in an application to rent their property. Trump, his daddy, they are clueless to that. You get what I'm saying? But one sister had a problem and wasn't able to get an apartment. And she cried foul. And she happened to be black. So I'm sure some New Yorkers, Democrats, pushed some racism shit on her and act like it was Trump or his daddy that turned her down when they had nothing to do with it, when it was their property management company. Now, he had lower income property available that they were trying to put the person into. But they were so adamant about this specific property they wanted to get into. But just so you know, Trump, his daddy, in effect, they have property management companies that deal with that. It wasn't Trump that denied anyone. And if one person couldn't get the apartment, tough titty, go somewhere fucking else. and go somewhere where you're fucking wanted. Who gives a fuck that she didn't get some goddamn apartment? Go take her black ass somewhere else and get another apartment. We don't care about that petty shit they dug up from the motherfucking 1970s. Like, that's supposed to make me say, oh, I don't want to vote for Trump because a property management company didn't let some black woman in 1970s. Petty shit. This is why the niggas lost the election. Being petty as fuck. We don't give a shit about that. Take your ass somewhere else and rent somewhere else. You know how many places, when I was a realtor and I listed someone's house for sale, and this goes with all realtors, and don't let them lie to you. First off, if I'm trying to sell a home and I got people doing open houses, people coming to see the home, the first thing in that day, my mindset, oh, this is a nice black couple. I would prefer to give this home and let these people put a deposit on it and give this home to this nice black family. Hey, owner of the house, it's a nice black family that really wants your property. I think they should get it. And we get together as me as a black realtor and him as a black owner, and we choose black folk over the white folk to get this goddamn home, or some black folk over some Mexican folk to get this home. It's normal practice in real estate. But you guys don't know that. So that shit don't bother people who know better, right? The other issue, what was it? The five guys in New York or something. What do they call them? Anyway, the five that Trump said they should get the death penalty in, like he was being a racist. Here's what you don't get. Central Park 5. Thank you, Rashonda. Here's what you don't get. The media and mainstream media told the world that they were guilty and that they were heinous crimes. 90% of everybody in America thought they were guilty. You don't know any better until you go to court and shit gets worked out. That's all that was. So even niggas in New York thought they were guilty. Mexicans, Puerto Rico, everybody thought they were guilty. But they brought this petty shit up and only singled Trump out and fooled you for their vote. So we don't care about none of them two petty things that the Democratic Party had to dig up on him. It's a bunch of petty nonsense. Okay? And in reality, it's a new documentary on that shit. Them motherfuckers is guilty of dirt. If you go watch that new documentary, they were not innocent. Them niggas was out there fucking up and committing crime. But we want to play victim all the time. Them niggas was fucking up in Central Park. Get out of here. All right, y'all. I'm out.